This right here with me is the Samsung Galaxy Note 20 Ultra. In other words, this is the best Note line of phones Samsung makes currently. Priced at 1 lakh Indian rupees or 1300 US dollars, does it live up to the hype? Let's talk. This phone has every top of the line spec that you could ever think of. I mean, look at the spec sheet once. Snapdragon 865 Plus, Quad HD Plus display with 120Hz refresh rate, 108 megapixel massive camera, 8K video shooting, and super steady mode for ultra smooth video recording. And all of this with the combination of a stylus, writing with which just feels like writing on a paper. Okay, this looks impressive on paper, right? But what about the in-hand feel of it? So the first time when I took this phone in my hand, my initial impression is, whoa, this looks solid. Yes, it's a very solid phone. The boxy design and that huge camera cutout makes this phone look premium. I mean, in a single sentence, it completely gives you that premiumness which phones this price should give. Lives up to that. And also, this color, the Mystic Bronze, I kinda like it a lot now. I'm not a fan of these shiny colors or gold accents, but this mobile literally changed my opinion. I started liking this a lot now. And it's all about the design that Samsung has made. It's really good. Now, enough about the back. Let's move towards the other side. It's a 6.9-inch dynamic AMOLED 2x panel with 120Hz refresh rate and a Quad HD Plus resolution. It supports HDR10 Plus and is protected by Gorilla Glass Victus. And the best part is, this display can go up to a peak brightness of 1500 nits. Kinda crazy, right? But it's super cool. Okay, if you are not into these technical specs, the sentence to say about the display quality of this phone is, Samsung made a better display than their previous best display, which was world's best display. I assume you got that. But if you didn't, I meant to say it's really good. And the media experience with this phone is also one of the best out there. But as you know, a display that curves to this extent will break for sure if the screen gets impacted. And if something like that happens, Samsung will charge a kidney for replacing the display. So yes, a case is much recommended. Now coming to what's under the hood. It packs in Snapdragon 865 Plus paired up with 12GB of RAM. So the performance on this device is top notch. No lag whatsoever, and it keeps all the apps in memory, no matter how many apps you would run. It also has the ultrasonic fingerprint scanner from its previous generation. It's fast, it's accurate, no upgrade as such, and yeah, no complaints here. And all of this is good, but the only problem with a large phone is its reachability. One-handed usage is quite impossible on this mobile. I mean, even if you wanna reach the status bar, you need your second hand, and that's a bit disappointing. Now let's talk about some of the most underrated stuff on Note 20 Ultra. So let's start with Samsung Ultra Wideband. Ultra Wideband is a radio network chip that sends out high frequency pulses in a very short range. So think about this as Wi-Fi but with better strength and faster response. But what's Samsung gonna do with ultra wideband? Okay, there are three uses of UWB. The first one is nearby share. You can point your Note 20 Ultra to any Android device so that you can share your messages, photos, videos, calendar events, or even alarms. That's crazy, right? The second one is Smart Things Find. Samsung is gonna combine the augmented reality with ultra wideband chip so that it can exactly locate any item. So just for example, if you have lost your keys and if those keys has U1 chip embedded into it, your mobile can exactly locate the position of that item. The only downside of this is you need to have U1 chip in the device you are searching for as well. But if this technology becomes popular, I think in no time we'll see so many products with U1 chip. The third one is you can even open the door to your home or your office just by using a digital key in your Note 20 Ultra. I mean, without needing a separate physical key. Samsung DeX is used to wirelessly connect your mobile to any monitor near you and instantly turn that monitor into a full working PC. You can simultaneously run apps, play games, create documents, etc. And the best part is, your mobile runs all these apps, games, pretty much anything you do right from your mobile in a single shot. And that defines the power of Note 20 Ultra. Now let's talk about the S Pen. S Pen. It's the major differentiator between the Note series and the S series. And with this S Pen, you have number of features like creating a note, smart selecting any text on screen, sending live messages, translation, drawing, etc. But other than all of this, the S Pen also supports smart gestures. You can double tap to open camera, press and swipe up for volume up. I mean, you can go home, open recents, and can do a lot more things with it. And the other thing is, the latency is reduced a lot with Note 20 Ultra, and this makes writing on this feel like writing on a paper, and that's really cool. Now let's talk cameras. It has 108 megapixel primary camera, 12 megapixel telephoto with 5x optical zoom and 100x digital zoom. And finally, a 12 megapixel 120 degree ultra wide lens. Yes, these are massive camera specs. So let's take some samples and put these cameras to a test. These are the daylight shots, and the images are very detailed. I love the details that these images retain even when you zoom in 300 to 400%. The dynamic range is also on point. Now, if you use Samsung, they are always famous for their saturation levels. I mean, most of the Samsung flagship camera photos from all their previous phones used to have the high saturation levels. But guess what? The Note 20 Ultra does not have that. The oversaturation has been toned down a bit and it looks nearly natural. Now, the primary camera of Note 20 Ultra is a 12 megapixel shooter, but as you know, it can go up to 108 megapixel. So just to see the difference, I took multiple photos in both the modes, and I did not find much of a difference. The obvious difference is the file size. A 12 megapixel shot is 5 to 6 MB, while a 108 megapixel shot is 30 MB, which is 5 times larger. And zooming into the 108 megapixel image does show better details, but not so huge. Okay, this is an ultra wide shot. And this is a wide shot from primary camera. And this here is 5x zoom. And finally, the massive 100x zoom. So okay, I would definitely say that 100x zoom is a huge improvement on Note 20 Ultra compared to S20 Ultra. These are the night shots, and on the whole, they look good. I mean, when the sensor has enough light, the pictures come with lot of details, sometimes even close to daylight shots, which is really appreciated. But as soon as you move to very low light, I don't see that heavy details when zoomed in. Wait, I'm not complaining here, and I could directly say that this is one of the best performing night sight smartphones ever. But wait, I recently took a photo of this building with iPhone 12 Pro Max, and guess what? That had lot better details. And I could directly compare them because both of them are in the same price bracket. But other than that, the images were really good. Now moving on to videos, this is one of the few devices in the world that supports the crazy 8K video shooting. It's not 60 FPS or something, and it's not even smooth. But being able to record 8K with a mobile is just incredible. I mean, I cannot do it with my DSLR, just saying. Other than that, it can record 4K 60 FPS, night video, slow mo, panorama, time lapse, super steady, etc. and it's super good. On the front, there is a 10 megapixel shooter for selfies. But before moving into the samples, there is one thing that I would want to mention, and that is the position of the selfie camera. This punch hole feels right. It does not come into the flow and it's really small. I mean, the edges of punch hole are trimmed to such an extent where it feels that there is just one small lens. Okay, let's move to the samples. Even here, the images turned out to be real good. No complaints here. Finally, this whole ultra big smartphone draws power from a 4500 mAh battery. And on paper, this should last a day. But due to massive display, 120Hz refresh rate, you can kill it in a day. Still, decreasing the resolution and the refresh rate could give you some more juice to run, but this is something you need to know. On the charging side, it's just a 25-watt brick, but definitely a bigger charger would have been much better. My final verdict on this mobile is this is the best mobile that money can buy right now, but only if budget is not a constraint. So guys, that's it for this video. If you guys like this video, please click on the like button and also subscribe to the channel for more amazing tech content. I hope to see you in my next video.